So, Jens, how do you feel returning to Portugal and playing at Milagre Metaleiro?
It's been quite a while, so it feels actually really good. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun too. I forget when we have been there last time, but it must have been before this pandemic, this shit happened, right? So
yeah, it was in Vagos Metal Fest.
Yeah, 2019 or something. So of course a lot of things have happened since then, but yeah, it should be great.
Last year, Stratovarius released the album Survive. How is going on the promotion of the album, and how did the fans reacted to it?
I think it's been going quite well. It's been we spent a lot of time preparing for this album with writing wise and all that stuff. So I think, and we play quite a few of these songs live. So I think it's been really good reception so far. We haven't had a smash like YouTube or Spotify hit yet from the album, but it's somehow doing this straight, a steady march towards whatever views it will get. So I'm really happy with it anyway. Personally, I think it's a good record that we made. So.
Being Survive post-pandemic release, how did this pandemic stuff influence the composition of the album lyrically and musically?
Not so much. I think most of the concepts we had actually ready a little bit before the pandemic, so it's not like a pandemic album in that sense.
I was asking because of the title, Survive. So
yeah, I think it was. The album title came after the pandemic, but it was not really about the pandemic in a way. It was just more about the band, how we are still surviving, somehow after all these years. In a way, it's related to that. But of course, the song is also, the title track is of course also a little bit, typical metal lyrics in a way. So.
And that is a good question. How does the band keep surviving after all these years?
I think we talk a lot. I think sometimes people get a bit frustrated, to confirm a show or something. We do this that. Everybody's talking and having opinions about stuff. But I think it's a healthier way than if you have one big boss in the band who's giving orders to everybody else. I think it's better if everybody's a little bit more involved with the process. Apart from that, I think we are just approaching it. I don't know. I guess everybody's sane enough not to have so much ego about things. So we set aside our egos and make a group. Everything more like a group project, I think when you are 20, of course your ego is a bit bigger, but now you have seen everything, and you this, it could work like this, or it could work the other way. You're more easygoing.
How the band works nowadays, as you told, you are now really a group, not like in the beginning, right? How does the band works to compose? Because I know you are in different places. I don't know if you still live in New York or.
No, I live in Sweden.
No, you live in Sweden. Okay. Yeah. When I met you, you were living in New York. How does things work as a band? Because Stratovarius has already had members in different places of the world. So how does the band works to compose and to rehearsal and everything else?
Yeah, I think especially this album, we made this a goal of actually getting together for the writing. The recording, we were a bit more scattered, but I felt it anyway. It was important for the writing to at least try to be in the same room, at least as a singer. The guy who has to sing the songs, he was very much involved in the writing. We tested things out with him. You could test things on the spot if it works or not. With the strange and what he's willing to sing and stuff like that. So that was it was something that started long before the pandemic. The planning to try to start writing, but I think the pandemic put a little bit of a it was a little bit of an obstacle when it came to getting together to write, obviously, because you could not travel and stuff. But we had some material done, and then once the restrictions eased a bit, we just finished writing. And I think, that's a big problem when people are scattered. Now Matthias, the guitar player, he lives in Brazil nowadays, so that's quite a big commute. If you want to get together, so you kind of have to plan the year very carefully for when you do things. And I think for us it was like, I noticed that a lot of other bands have made this like pandemic albums where they go like, we wrote the album, everybody sitting in different locations. For us, the goal with this album was the other way around. We really wanted to sit in the same location, and of course, it's like a reverse pandemic album in a way. But it started long before the pandemic, actually. So we just like here and there just been chipping away at making new material. And the other thing I'd like to mention is, of course, nowadays the music industry is very different from how it was 20 years ago. 20 years ago, the main income was from the album sales. Of course, that's not the case anymore, because streaming and stuff, it does not really pay almost anything. So most bands actually make money from touring. So the albums become more of a, it's like a indulgence. It's something you make because it's supposed to be fun, or you want to express yourself or whatever. So we figured we would really try to spend much more time on the writing this time than we had perhaps on the previous album. And I think, to me, it kind of paid off. I really like the songs.
What kind of set list can we expect at Milagre Metaleiro? A survive tour set list or a best of?
I think it's like a mixture, like 50-50 kind of mixture. Because, of course, a lot of people want to hear the old songs as well. When you come to a festival, you kind of, some people might not even have heard the new album. But we will play quite a lot of songs from the new album also. That's like a thing.
This will be the 5th time you'll come to our country, and it will be your 6th show of Stratovarius in Portugal. Do you have any memories from your first shows in Portugal back in 99, 2000?
Yeah, I think we used to play this hard club. I don't know if that's still there anymore.
Yes, yeah. No, it's closed. There's a new art club, but is it the same place? It's in Oporto now, not in Gaia as it was in the past.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, of course. It was always like, when I came with Stratovarius, it was actually my first time in Portugal, so it was really interesting. And I think we have played some festivals. We played Hard Club a couple of times, and it's always been great. I mean, it's like always it's like Southern European audiences are very warm and very energetic. If you compare to here in the north, people are more like checking you out like a little bit. So it's always a great feeling. And I'm expecting it will not be any different.
Mm-hmm. What do you think that explains the fact that Stratovarius, 25 years later, people still want to see Stratovarius in Portugal after all these years? Because I don't know if you know, but the pre-sales for the daily ticket for the day Stratovarius will play are sold out.
Okay.
The daily tickets, yeah. And because there are a lot of people want to see Stratovarius again. Do you think that people that saw you back then in 99, 2000, that still had this special connection with the band? Because back in that day, there weren't too many bands playing in Portugal, so they feel connected to the band somehow.
I think there's definitely that angle. I guess we'll see it. It's when you talk about that aspect of it, it depends a little bit on the age of the audience. Because at least in Finland now, we've been playing a lot in Finland in the summer, you also see a lot of younger people. And if it's a festival, of course, people go check out your band and they go check out a bunch of other bands. So you get like a little bit of mixture from other bands' audiences as well. So I guess we'll see, if there's like old timers or if there's like newcomers. I guess we'll have to wait and see what it looks like. But if it's sold out, I mean, I think that's like a good sign, no matter who it is.
And after this festival in Portugal, what are the plans for the band for the rest of the year?
Yeah, the plans are like this. It's like we will go on a European bus tour in starting October, continuing through November. It's about 1 month long bus tour I don't think we go down there, but I think it will be like more Central Europe, and together with Sonata Arctica, the band Sonata Arctica. And of course, if it's really successful, maybe we will take the same package some other places as well. I don't really know yet, but we kind of limited it to 1 month because of everybody's like schedule and life situation and stuff like this. And also I think we have some Finnish gigs in December. Other than that, I don't really know. I mean, we don't have any long-term plans for another album quite yet, but we should probably start writing like yesterday. But everybody's life keeps getting in the way in a way, and I think that's in a way it's healthy. We are not like really stressing getting another album out. I think it's like when we feel that we have enough good songs, then we will make the new album happen. But it's like everybody should write and collect ideas.
You had a long career, not only with Stratovarius, but with other bands and musicians. What motivates you to still playing your keyboard night after night in the gigs?
I mean, it's a very good job. I mean, it's a nice job to be able to make people happy. It's much better than being like a soldier, or let's say somebody who makes hand grenades or landmines or something like that, where your job is to make some other person very unhappy. So first of all, it's a very good job. Of course, the travel, it gets more and more boring year by year, but of course the playing is still very much fun. That's like the fun part. And I think the travel this weekend is not going to be that bad. I mean, we have some flights going here, and hopefully nobody loses any luggage or anything like that. But the playing is always fun.
Did you still remember any Portuguese words?
I don't remember. Only bad ones, and
I know you learned a lot of bad ones. I remembered.
Yeah, I forgot all of them now. Like, I don't
okay, I will teach you again.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Final message to the Stratovarius fans that are anxious, expecting to see the band in Saturday.
The final message is, I guess, it's sold out. So if you didn't buy a ticket, then I don't know what to tell you.
The pre-sales for the daily ticket, but okay. They can still buy the 3 days ticket.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Yeah, well, then you can buy the 3-day ticket, and you can check out some other good bands too, and see you there, I guess. Like, it's gonna be a good night, I think. No!